Yes, people, what is going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and this is your match preview. It's Everton against Arsenal at the Emirates. 10 games ago, I probably would have been sitting there thinking, oh my God, if we had to win this game to stay up, we'd be in trouble, blah, 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 blah. But as it turns out, we're on the beach, and I don't know about you, but my flip-flops are fully on my feet. Like, I am done with this season. I am done with this season. I am done with this club. I'm done with everything to do with Everton for a few weeks, if I'm being honest. They have been really, really tough at times to love. That's probably the right word, because, we've gone to home games for a lot of this season and lost them. Certainly start of the season, Luton, all of those teams, blah, 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 Fulham, Wolves. Losing at home to these teams was disappointing. We come good at the end, but it took a long time. The whole rigmarole of what's going on in the boardroom and with the ownership of the club, that's frustrating. So that has clearly had an effect. And then when you look at Everton as a whole and the situation that we've got ourselves in, i.e. financial fair play and the issues around the club, it's been a really rubbish season. Some of the decisions we've had from a VAR standpoint, second yellow cards with Liverpool players and penalties that haven't been given and penalties that we've received against us. It's been an awful season for so many things. And I did box to box earlier with Turkish, who, as you know, he was part of, he still is part of AFTV and DR Sports, and he runs the Big Six show. So, he's big in the community in that sense. And he asked me questions about it. It was like, what has happened? And when you roll in the fact that the Premier League have tried to give us a 17-point deduction this season, I mean, it is scandalous. Like, it is scandalous. It might even be 18 points. It's ridiculous. This Everton team, to their credit, has kept going. Yeah. And I admire them for it. The fact we're sitting on 40 points after having 8 reduced, you are talking about a team that, if they were better at home at the early starts of this season, this Everton team would still be 11th, 12th, 10th. And if we had the points, we'd be fighting for Europe. And when you actually put into perspective the games that we did lose at home to the odd goal, Luton, Fulham, Wolves, there was a few at the start of the season. You really do sort of come back and think, oh my God, this has actually been a decent season. And I said in a video prior, I've absolutely ridiculed Dyche time and time again, but I must say, I can't fault him. And actually, I'm not gonna. Some of his decisions tactically are inept, and I think the football's been turgid at times. And do I think he's the manager to take us forward? Probably not. But I'm not expecting us to go forward next season. I'm not expecting a magic wand and everything's going to be okay over the summer. I'm expecting this summer to be awful, if I'm being honest. But I still think this Everton team, with the great fans that we have, and we are, I still think we'll probably stay up next season. Even if we do lose Pickford, Branthwaite, Onana, Calvert-Lewin, Beto, I still think we'll be fine. Dan Juma's gone back to his parent club, Villarreal. Jack Harrison, that annoyed me a little bit today because I don't want to keep him. I don't want to keep him, and I would probably say that 60-70% of Everton fans don't want to keep him. Not disrespecting him, he's run his socks off. However, it's not for me. So I'd like to see us do something different. I'd like to see us lose these players and do a bit of a rebuild, but without spending much money, looking for those free signings and looking for those potential players that we could bring in and out. This whole vote on VAR, whether VAR should stand. Premier League clubs like Everton They are awful. Because they're all going to vote to keep VAR in some form, and that means it's allowing the rest of the big six yet again to have dominate these decisions. I know it would be worse with ref bias potentially, but the facts are it's awful, the current system, the time it takes for decisions, offsides, everything. And I know some of that will be fixed, but at this moment in time, the English League, the English standard of refereeing, the English standard within the boardroom and Bletchley Park is shocking. So I can't wait for this season to be over. And look, talking about the game, Arsenal need to win. Arsenal need to win. Manchester City, Arsenal are praying that West Ham do a job on City, which, you know, if I was a betting man, I would say they're not gonna. So, you know, you are looking at Manchester City probably winning. Arsenal are going to give it as good a go as they physically can. They've scored tons of goals this season. Apart from the Villa game at the Emirates, they've been absolutely rock solid. The Villa game is a game that's cost them the league. And I mean, that is mad, really, ain't it? I think this game's 3-0. I think this game's 3-0. And if I'm being brutally honest, and please don't, I'm not sitting here being all, you know, derogatory towards us at all. But I think the players are just going to be like, just get this out of the way. I need a holiday. I need a break. And I don't blame them. I don't blame the players. I don't blame Sean Dyche. I don't blame anyone connected with Everton Football Club that has worked in that cauldron this season. I don't begrudge any of them a break. Go and have a little holiday. Go and relax. Go and get chilled. And we're going to start again next season in some capacity, in some form. But go and have that rest because they deserve it. So this game, in my opinion, it's almost a game too far. You could see it against Sheffield United. It was a lacklustre performance. I think this one will be exactly the same. I think Arsenal will be at the jugular for the whole game. We'll defend stoutly because we do, but you know we got done 6-0 at Chelsea. I'm not saying we're going to get done 6-0 here. I'm not, but we might get 3-4, and I don't care. I don't care. We'll see. We'll see. I have no. I'm just not bothered. It sounds awful. I'm not even going to give you a starting 11 because I don't know, nor do I massively care. You know, if I'd be tempted to actually give some game time to players like Lewis Dobbin, Chimiti, players who deserve it. I'd give half of football to the younger lads, the ones that have sat on the bench all season. You know, Warrington, for example, Hunt. Give them 45 minutes. Give them half an hour. Just give them some game time. I just don't really fussed about this game. I'm really not. So yeah, that's where we are. There's a few bits of breaking news today. Everton have offered Ashley Young, alongside Coleman that was offered it last week, a 1-year deal, and they've also triggered the 1-year extension on Ghana Guy's contract, which is great news. That's great news. So that's phenomenal news, eh? I don't feel as worried about midfield now, if I'm being honest. And I think if Onana goes and say a Barkley comes in, I'm going to feel comfortable that our midfield's going to be strong enough to be Premier League when we go into a new stadium. I expect to lose Branthwaite, but I think we can replace Branthwaite with a Premier League quality player for a lot less. And I mean a lot less. I mean, you could 10 million quid. Goals have been an issue this season. I don't think we'll score loads next season, but I think we'll score enough to keep us in the league. We're going to have a couple of loan opportunities. I wouldn't sign Jack Harrison. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. And if that ends up being another loan move for next season, which would be mad, I'm not feeling that either. So yeah, that's where we are. You will get more content throughout the next few weeks. We're going to start ramping it up now. It goes from the match previews and the match reactions to doing more content. So you will get more content. And there's a few opportunities that have came up to be sponsored by some companies and to get some discount codes for you guys. Obviously, we still had that discussion about Patreon, and I'm still on the fence about it. It would be massively beneficial to the channel to have an income stream that can fund this taking the next step. Because we don't earn enough from YouTube. No, we just don't. It's probably £100, if I'm being honest. Maybe 150 pushing. We don't earn a lot. So it would be great to have an income stream where we can actually build the platform, turn it into a studio, turn it into a proper podcast arena, and actually really set up and give it a go next season of some type. That's what we'd like to do. So yeah, look, I'm going to leave it there. Keep smiling. Hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Love you long time as always, and I'll see you for the match reaction. Peace.